Welcome to another edition of the Hoop Scoop. I'm Jarret Johnson, and man, Texas Tech sure did take a whipping up in Norman against the Sooners on Wednesday night. You know, one of the things that caused me some alarm was the fact that the line was only, Tech was only 3 point favorites going into that game, but Oklahoma had been struggling. They'd lost several games in a row, and Tech has been really hot. And so you think Tech goes, even though it's on the road, and handles their business at a place, let's be honest, the Noble Center there, I mean, it's just not that much of a home court advantage, but it certainly was to Oklahoma Wednesday night as the Sooners blew out Texas Tech and really just dominated the whole second half. I think they scored 45 points in the second half, which is almost what Tech allows in a whole game, on the season. It's like 50-something points. Gibson, another one of those little shifty guards like Monty Joe Yeager pointed out in his Yeager shots, that gives this Texas Tech team fits. And he went off for 30 points, and they just didn't have an answer for him. And they didn't have an answer for Oklahoma's three-point barrage. And then on the other end, Tech couldn't buy a three-point bucket. And that's just a really bad recipe in terms of trying to win anywhere, especially on the road. So, I mean, there was some other factors like, I thought rebounding would be a huge advantage for Texas Tech in this game. And Oklahoma dominated the boards in a lot of ways. I don't remember what the final stat line was, but it felt like Oklahoma was dominating. They got a lot of long rebounds off the threes they actually missed. Texas Tech didn't get a whole lot of second opportunities, and the Red Raiders, they lost. They fell to 18-6 overall, 7-4 in conference, and this was just when Kansas had lost another game. You were within a game of the Jayhawks. Tech had just got in the top 10. Nationally in the AP poll, and this is the worst loss of the season. The loss at Kansas State was bad, but you could argue, look, Tech had played 5 games in 10 days, and they were just worn out. But this game they had plenty of rest. They had they played Saturday, so then they had several days off leading up to Wednesday night's game, and they won a really impressive game in a hard place to play at West Virginia, and then to lose at Oklahoma, who's having a hard time filling their arena. It's just really disappointing for Red Raider fans. But on the other hand, let's not get too doom and gloom. This happens in a basketball season. Even the national championship team had their down time. I think they lost 3 in a row at one point. So. And Tech hadn't lost 2 in a row yet. So that takes me to my next point. Texas Tech hosts. They get to go back home, play in the friendly confines of the USA, and they play for the first time this season TCU, who, they're actually having a pretty dang good season for them. They're 16-5 overall, 5-4 in conference. They're coming off a win over Oklahoma State, a tough game over the Cowboys. And, this is a game where Tech, again, should win, especially at home, but TCU makes me a little nervous too. I guess all these Big 12 teams are starting to make me nervous at this point because, if you go cold from 3, don't guard the 3, then, you're probably going to lose against these teams. So, and that's been the recipe to beating Texas Tech. And I think just, again, as Mighty Joe detailed in his Yeager shots, the way Oklahoma packed the paint and really forced Tech to beat them from the perimeter is a blueprint. Now, if Tech is hitting those threes, then you're in big trouble because then things start opening up on the inside, and Tech really has their way with you. But just it feels like nobody really had a good game. Bryson Williams had perhaps his worst game in the Big 12 this year. Kevin O'Banner wasn't much better. He had a couple of nice moments. Adonis Arms, just all of a sudden now he lost his shooting touch. He's not shooting very well. Kevin McCullough's okay. TJ Shannon had a bad game. It just seemed like nobody for Texas Tech had a good game, and that's how you get beat. That's how you get blown out. I think they lost by 15, and it almost felt like more than that, the way Gibson and just the Sooners were firing away from 3, and Tech couldn't buy a bucket. So, well, again, here's a pretty good TCU team, one of their better teams they've had in a while. Coming to Lubbock, and you got to protect your home court. Tech is undefeated at home. I expect Tech to win. I expect them to bounce back. Mark Adams said on Twitter here Thursday that, look, I wish we could play today. Wish we can get back on the court. And I understand that sentiment. And that is a good thing about basketball as opposed to football is you don't have to wait a week to go back out there. They're going to play, and actually game's set for 3 p.m. Saturday. It'll be on ESPN Plus, so it won't be actually televised, but it'll be streamed on ESPN Plus, and that is at United Supermarkets Arena. So we'll see if the Red Raiders can bounce back. I fully expect them to. I expect them to play one of their better games. But again, they're going to need to because TCU is a solid team. Not a great team, but a solid team. You got to win these games at home. So I'm afraid that loss at Oklahoma may have cost you any shot at the Big 12. I don't know if Kansas is going to lose 2 more, and if Tech could go undefeated throughout. That sounds like a tall order, both honestly, in both cases. So we'll have to see if that costs them. But still, I mean, Tech is obviously going to the tournament. You're fighting for seeding right now. They need these wins. They need to beat TCU at home. So we'll see what happens if they can bounce back. So with that, I want to thank you for watching, and until next time.